Woof Woof Power. This is a story about if Ichigo was dating Miyoshi Otachi and they both get turned into Mew Mews, but he is a Woof Woof, not a Mew Mew. He is a wolf fox. Wolf. Chapter 1. In the beginning. This is for my girlfriend Dante. Earth. A beautiful blue plant filled with millions of life forms. Earth today, however, there are around 2,580 species of animals facing extinct on this planet. It is time to stand up against thus destruction. Now. For all living creatures. And for ourselves. Sigh, Ichigo sighed. It's so nice outside today, so why am I stuck inside this endangered animal exhibit with Messiah? There is a new student going to school today, and I want to see who it is, so I must go from here to school to see who it is. Meanwhile, Messiah babbled, so Ichigo walked away. It was then that she ran into the new student in the museum. Oh, he is so cute, Ichigo thought. Hello, I am Otachi, who are you? He smiled. He is good at school, and smart, and cute, and very athletic, and popular at school, and has a great smile. Hello, I am Ichigo, and who are you? I'm Otachi, he smiled sadly. What's wrong? Ichigo asked. We are going to be late to school, Otachi frowned. He bonked her on the head. Let's go silly. Ichigo blushed heavily. Okay, I would love to go with you, Otachi-kun. Saya ran up behind her Ichigo. Hey Ichigo, I was talking to you. Hey, what are you doing talking to my girl? The next day at school. Ichigo and Otachi decided to walk together to school. Also, she dumped Messiah. It was a bright and sunny day, and the birds were chirping loudly, and it was sunny. Yawn, Ichigo yawned. I'm exhausted and tired, Ichigo said. Oh, hi, said Ichigo's friends. Hi, said Zoe. Wow, you're here early today, said her friend. Thanks for noticing, said Ichigo. It is because I got a ride to school from the cool new guy. Oh my gosh, do you know the new guy? He is so cute. No, I do not know the new guy. I wish I was dating him, the friends said. This is great, they said. They heard a giant group of every girls cheering in the distance. OMG, he's so hot and cool, they screamed out at once. Sorry, ladies, I gotta get to class, he said charmingly. He walked to class. Ichigo followed, because she has the same class. Hey again, Ichigo, he said. He sat next to her next to the window. Hi, Ichigo blushed. She had a crush on him. Hey, can I borrow a pencil? Otachi inquired. Yes, let me get one, Ichigo said as she grabbed her pencil. She went to hand it to her, but got bumped by someone else and it went flying. Otachi caught it in midair. Wow, Ichigo thought, he would make a great Mew Mew. Oh yeah, boys can't be Mew Mews. Duh. Later on, they went to the museum, get it? Wow, I never noticed that building, Ichigo said as she noticed a cool building. It was Cafe Mew Mew. What a cute cafe, she cried. Maybe I'll ask Otachi to go there later. True love can be difficult, Mint said. She is sarcasm girl. Then they saw Bridget being bullied by some mean girls, but Pudding jumped on them and Zakuro said hi or something to that effect. Then Otachi came up and stopped the girls from stopped bullying, and all the girls thought he was cool. He is cool, Mint said. Then suddenly an earthquake happened. Get under me, said Otachi. They hid under him as a giant beam hit them, and they became Mew Mews except Otachi, who disappeared. To be continued. Then the description is, this is a story about if Ichigo was dating Miyoshi Otachi and they both get turned into Mew Mews, but he is a wolf wolf, not a Mew Mew. He is a wolf fox wolf. So he basically copy-pasted that from the start of the chapter. Woof Woof Power, Chapter 2. Chapter 2. Itachi was in a void like he'd ever seen. Is that a wolf? He thought, and it was. Then he saw a fox. They went in each other and then went in him. I have powers now, he thought excitedly, and it was true. Chapter 3. Chapter 3. Ichigo was fighting the Presite. Meanwhile, Kish was talking about this stuff. Strawberry Bell Bell, Ichigo screamed. I guess I have no choice. I have to do this. She has her weapon, the Strawberry Bell. She attacked at the monster. For your evil actions I will make you pay, she began to rap. Mew Mew style, Mew Mew grace, Mew new power in your face. Then she said ribbon strawberry attack. The monster turned into a regular mouse again, and Matcha ate the parasite. Recovery complete, Itachi said. What just happened? Ichigo said. We had to fight the evil alien's predecessor, Itachi exclaimed. This is because you are a 𝚘𝚘𝚒𝚘𝚘 and I am a WOOF WOOF. The aliens infect animals and turn them into monsters. So they shot animal DNA at us, and yours is a cat and mine is a foxwolf, or a fulf. We are biological weapons to fight back with endangered species. It's genetic therapy like cancer cells, but we have animal cells. Also, Matcha is a cat fairy who eats the parasites. Work hard, you're a superhero now. Ichigo : What? Oh yeah, also we have to work at Cafe Mew. My brother Rio is in charge of the project, Itachi smiled. Get on my motorbike and I'll take you to cafe. Okay, Ichigo said. She was scared and held on to him by his arms as they rode to the cafe to work. They got to the cafe and put on their uniforms. Ichigo's was a pink maid uniform with a heart apron, and it was really cute. Itachi's outfit was black silk with red and gold trim, and it had fire on its sleeves and gold bridges up the front. It was fitting and showed off his muscled physique. He had on black combat boots and martial art gloves. His pants were black and had chains on them. His eyes were brown and his hair was black and his eyes were red. They got redder like blood when he was mad, but right now he was happy because Ichigo was happy. You look cool, Ichigo said. You look kawaii, Itachi replied. Ichigo blushed. Rio came up and said, You have marks on you. Ichigo looked at her inner thigh and saw a weird mark. Itachi said, I already found mine. It was right next to his birthmark that looked like a fang, and it was another fang. Anyway, you two are the leaders, Rio said. He walked away to make cake. We have to go find other Mew-Mews, said Itachi. We can stay in the cafe and listen to girly stuff to find out where he Mew-Mews are. The other Mew-Mews are girls. Ichigo nodded. Right. The sun shimmered down against the ivory pavement, and the dew from the grass glistened like tears. It's a good day, said Ichigo, but how will we find the other Mew-Mews? Easy, said Itachi, holding up a handkerchief. This belongs to Sarcasm Girl, and she is a Mew-Mew. I can tell I have the ability to sense Mew-Mews when they're nearby and aliens. Wow, said Ichigo. That's so cool. They go to Mint's house. They looked it up in the phony book, but when Ichigo was there, her ears and tail popped out because she wanted to hold his hand. Itachi's tail was out because Ott was always out. It was long and black and a wolf's tail. Mint's dog Mikey started barking, which scared away Ichigo, so it was up to Itachi to find Mint. I'll wait here, said Ichigo, hiding behind the mailbox. Okay, said Itachi. Itachi went to the door and rang the doorbell on the door. What do you want, Aid Mint? Her hair was blue and up in buns and wore a fancy purple dress that accentuated her curves. Well, Miss Beautiful, I found your handkerchief. Mint frowned and said, I already have a boyfriend. Itachi said, It's okay, I do too, and pointed to Ichigo. Mint frowned and said, What, she got that? But she was interrupted when Mickey ran away. Mickey, no! Mint yelled. Itachi said, Don't worry, I'll get it. He ran with wolf speed and caught up to it and catched it and brought it to Mint. Mint said, Thank you, take these tickets to my ballet, and closed the door. Itachi brought the tickets to Ichigo and asked if she wanted to go for a date. Ichigo said, I don't want to see anything with that birch, but I'll go for ooh. Then it's a date, Itachi. Smile. Meanwhile, at the ballet, Itachi and Ichigo were sneaking around backstage. Ichigo had on a black cat suit and Itachi had on a black wolf suit with chains and red lining and fingerless gloves. Itachi said, I have to go find Mint's mark. You go fight the alien. And he went to Mint's changing room. Suddenly I saw her as I opened the door. Mint was naked and I saw her back. She had 2 tiny bird wings. Her hair was down and glistening. Mint turned and said, What are you here, you pervert? Itachi said, You are a Mew-Mew. Suddenly, Mickey turned into a big monster. Itachi pulled his wolf sword out and started to attack. I will help you, Ichigo screamed. Ichigo was already transformed, but Itachi didn't need to transform because he already had his sword. You are a cat and you are a fox wolf, Mint gasped, surprised. It's a wolf, Itachi grinned. Mint. Then Ichigo got pinned to the wall by the Mickey dog cat monster, and there was a crocodile there. What is that crocodile doing here? Itachi said. It's part of the play, Mint said. It went to attack Mint, but Itachi was too busy helping Ichigo for Mickey, so Mint screamed and she transformed. I am a bluebird, Mint said, holding her bluebird arrow up. Mint killed the crocodile, and Itachi turned Mickey back to normal. Masha wasn't there, so Itachi put the parasite in his pocket. Thank you for saving Mickey, Mickey said. You are welcome, Itachi smiled charmingly. Ichigo frobed and grabbed Itachi's arm. He is all mine. We are a team now, Itachi said. Mint said, I don't want to be on a team with her. The feeling is mutual, get it? Ichigo said, and they all laughed at the pun. To be continued. The next day at school was talking about a haunted school. I am scared of ghosts, Ichigo said after math class. Itachi said, there's no such thing as ghosts, and laughed at her. Mint said, walk me to class. Ichigo frowned and said, he's walking with me to class, and Itachi said, we all go to the same class. Mint went to fancy private school, but decided to change schools when she was Mew Mew. After they got to math class and sat down, Ichigo realized she did not have her homework, and she began to cry. Mint said, no time to cry, we must learn more about the ghost that haunts the ghost school. Itachi said, there is no ghost. Ichigo said, but my homework. Mint said, it might not be a ghost, it might be a Mew Mew. The teacher said, quiet, and pull out your book. Today we're going to be learning about mitosis. Mint hates mitosis. Ichigo frowned and whispered, this is stupid. Mint said, I can tutor you. I am the Studi Body president. After class, they went on the motorcycle to the haunted school. It was dark. There was a dead girl outside. Itachi held both of their hands because they were scared. After they got lettuce, they could go home. They went to the pool and saw the demon. To be continued. And then the description is, IMO, this is the best chapter. I tried to make it detailed, so yeah, smiley face, also meant a prayers, so yay. Chapter 4. They were at the pool to get the lettuce. Suddenly the water popped up and hit at them, but they fought it back with Strawberry Check and Mint Echo. We did it! Let's look for lettuce now, Mint said loudly. Not so fast, Itachi exclaimed. There is still lettuce in the pool, and she is ready to strike. Just as H4E said that, lettuce splashed water and grabbed Ichigo and pulled her under the pool. Ah! Ichigo cried and screamed. She was being drowned by the hands and thought that this wasn't like the other animas. She felt like she thought she was going to die, but Mint and Itachi blasted attacks at her to save her. Oh my god, guys, it's lettuce! Ichigo said, shocked as she saw lettuce come out of the water. Why are you doing this? Itachi asked. Lettuce silently thought to herself that he was hot, but had to deal with the matter at hand. That matter was that she was scared and afraid of eating a Mew Mew. She transformed. She's a Mew Mew! Mint yelled. One of our kind! Ichigo replied. Lettuce summoned her Lettuce Tannet and said, Ribbon Lettuce Flash! The water blasted at them and hit the girls, but Itachi blocked it from hitting them. Lettuce, stop this, Itachi said. You are a Mew Mew like them, and I am a Woof Woof. We are a team, and you do not need to be scared, okay? Lettuce cried. I just wanted to be friends with everyone, but now I'm a freak. You are not a freak. You're an amazing superhero, Itachi said. The other Mew Mews agreed with nodding. There are no excuses for attacking other people, Ichigo said. I can't let her off easy. I will ownish her. What are you saying, Ichigo? Mint said. No, Mint, stay here. Itachi held Mint's shoulder. Ichigo jumped at Lettuce and tickled her armpits. For your evil actions, I will make you pay. Everyone laughed at Ichigo's joke, and Lettuce laughed at the tickle. Ichigo and Lettuce fell in the pool and laughed. I'm sorry I won't do it again. Lettuce blushed and smiled and cried. We are all friends. TBC. Then the description is, Lettuce has shown up. Chapter 5. Hi guys, I hope you're liking this story. Thanks for all the reviews. Okay, let's get a crackin'. Otachi was bored and it was summertime, so he suggested they all go on a break. His brother Ryo was gone, so he was currently in charge of Cafe Mew Mew with Keiichiro was gone too. "Hey," Otachi said. "Hey." "What?" said Mint and Lettuce except Lettuce. "We should go have fun. While the cats are gone, the mice will play," Otachi said. "What does hat mean?" Ichigo asked. "I'm right here." "It means we can have fun while Ryo and Keiichiro are gone," Mint sneered. "I don't know if that's a good idea," said Lettuce, frowning with a small blush face. "Aw, come on, Lettuce, we'll have a good time," Otachi said, which made Lettuce blush more because she had a crush on Otachi. Mint put her hands on her hips. "I think it's a great idea," Mint said, and she stepped closer to Otachi, for little did Lettuce know, but she had as crush on Otachi herself. In fact, all three girls had crushes on Otachi. Mint picked up Mickey and sat on the table to have tea. "Arf, arf," said Mickey. Ichigo cried out, "If we're going on vacation, you can't bring your dog." Mint just laughed and didn't reply. An hour later, the three of them were standing in the beach boardwalk amusement park. Ichigo was wearing a bright pink one-piece bathing suit with watermelons on it and a cute white miniskirt and black and white sandals. Her hair was up in white ribbons. Mint was wearing a blue ball gown over her skimpy navy two-piece. She had lots of frills and bows and her hair was down. Vicky was in her black purse and wearing a matching bow. Lettuce was wearing jeans and a t-shirt, and a big sun hat with sunflowers on it. "Why are you dressed up so fancy?" said Ichigo to Mint. "We are at the beach," said Mint. The three walked on the boardwalk to the amusement park where they met Otachi buying tickets. Otachi was wearing a black shirt with a black leather jacket and black fingerless gloves and chains on his belt and black combat boots. His eyes were not red today because he was in a good mood. "Let's hit the roller coasters," Otachi said. "I'm afraid of roller coasters," said Lettuce. The three boarded the roller coaster with Otachi. Ichigo and Mint fought. Overu sat next to Otachi, but in the end Otachi sat next to Lettuce because she was afraid of the roller coaster. "Now hold on to me if you get scared afraid," said Otachi. "Okay, I'll hold on to you if I get scared," said Lettuce. Lettuce, Ichigo, and Mint overheard this and were furious because they wanted to hold Itachi's hand. As they got to the top of the roller coaster, when it started to descend, Lettuce found out she wasn't that scared and went, "Whee!" Ichigo and Mint screamed and clanged to each other, and Otachi linked back and crossed his arms and smirked. The roller coaster was looping and going up and down, and it was a good ride, and when they got off, Ichigo and Mint were shaking scared, but Lettuce was not, and Lettuce was having such a good time, but Ichigo and Mint were mad because it looked like Lettuce and Otachi were on a date, and Ichigo and Mint wanted to be on a date with him. "Hold on, I have to go to the bathroom," Ichigo said. She walked away. My, look what we have here," Kish's disembodied voice said. He was chuckling. "Who is there?" Ichigo turned around. "Is that you, Otachi?" "Oh, now you're making me jealous," said Kish as he jumped down and kissed Ichigo on the mouth. LOL, Kish is such a pedophile. "What just happened?" Ichigo said. "My name is Kish. Thanks for the kiss. TBC. Description just says, okay. Chapter 5. Chapter 6. Fire of the Heart. Lettuce was watching Hamtaro at the cafe with Pudding. "Wouldn't it be cool if we were hamsters? I think it would be cool." Ryo said, "I can do that if you want to try it out." "No, I am a monkey," said Pudding, "and I have superpowers." She swung from the lamp and her monkey tail wagged and she made monkey noises. "Suit yourself," said Ryo, but Lettuce was much more interested in being a hamster. "I want to be a ham, she said. "That's silly," said Mint on the table. Meanwhile, Otachi and Ichigo were on a date. "We have to find the fifth Mew Mew. We are dating," said Otachi. "That's right," said Ichigo. "Where should we look?" So they looked. Suddenly Pudding pulled out a magazine. "Look, it looks like Sakura the model." "Oh, the model," said Mint. "We should sneak into the model agency," said Mint. "I have a brother who works there," said Otachi. "I do modeling sometimes." Just then Lettuce burst in the building and held up her new pet hamster and said, "Look what I have. I shall hug him and kiss him, and his name is Bob." LOL. Ichigo, capital O, underscore, lowercase o. Later that day, at the modeling agency, everyone was wearing sexy outfits except Pudding 'cause she's like 12. Lettuce was first. She lost Bob and had to chase him around so she didn't get to audition. Pudding twirled her plates and breathed fire, and the judges were not happy. Mint moved beautiful from her ballet did help. Ichigo didn't do so good. She got dizzy and nervous. Itachi was disguised as a talent agent, so he was judging every boy. He watched as Sakura rocked the room. While the girls were busy trying to catch the hamster, Itachi runned off and followed Sakura down the hallway. After a minute, Sakura said, "I know you're there." "I know," said Itachi, putting his hands in his pocket. "Do you want an autograph or something?" Sakura asked, crossing her arms. "No," Itachi said coolly. "I'm here on business." Sakura looked Itachi questionably. "What kind of business? I don't work outside the agency," she said. Itachi flashed a charming smile, which made Sakura a little unnerved. To be continued. And then the description says, "I tried. Yay, Sakura's on. Wolfy girl. Smiley face, smiley face, smiley face. Yeah." Chapter 7, sort of. Chapter 7. Who Let the Dogs Out? "So what is it you wanted to tell me?" Sakura said. "I think you should join our Mew Mew team," Itachi said. "Listen you," said Sakura. "I know I have powers and I know I am special, but I work by myself. And no one else can ever change my mind. Ever since I was born I was by myself and I had to learn to live by myself on the cold streets. And I used to spend every day gathering food for my brothers and sisters. I've had a hard life and I don't need you to tell me I need to work as a team when I've been alone my whole life. I'm on the top now, model, and I can support myself, and am not afraid of any aliens or pedicites and as I came to this planet, I've been trying to get along, and you people just keep making things harder for me, and I'm sick of it. You make me sick, so my answer is no." Later, Itachi went back to Cafe Mew Mew and told them the bad news. Mint was devastated. "What do you mean came to this planet?" asked Ichigo. "Do you think she an alien-y?" "That doesn't make sense," Mint said. "No, is not true." Itachi frowned and cross-spread his arms. "I think it may be true. We need to keep an eye on her." So they agreed to keep an eye on her. Just then the alarm rang and, "Oh no, that's an alien," said Pudding. That went out the door and Itachi drove the Mew Mew tank. The Mew Mew tank is this cool thing Rio invented so they could get there faster. Mint flew above the tank and said, "Oh, we are almost there." Ichigo said, "Ah," and they got there. Meanwhile, the alien that was there was wiggling around infesting the Kanto region. "Oh no, what is that?" said Ichigo as a giant mill tank caught her. Her blood sprayed out everywhere. Itachi sliced the mill tank in half and it used rollout, but it died. "Oh no, Ichigo is dying," it said. Kiki jumped into the air and kicked a Pikachu, but Pikachu thundered and killed her, and things were not looking good. Itachi was towed up with a Tangela when Mint got stabbed. "Oh no, Mint is dead," said Mint! Just then Itachi screamed, "No!" Then Sakura woke up. "I guess I had to be a Mew Mew now." Author's note: LOL, this chapter was a joke, don't take it seriously. I've been playing Pokemon, LOL. And the description says, Dante made me do it, XD. Chapter 8. Chapter 8. Broken Heart. Sakura was convicted. "I must be Mew Mew," said Sakura solemnly. "It is time to save the planet." She went to Cafe Mew Mew to tell the others that she was to be a Mew Mew. Rio answered the door and said, "Hello, Sakura." Sakura said, "Let me in," and he did. "I have important," Sakura said, and everyone listened. "Sakura, are you here to be a Mew Mew with us?" said Mint. Sakura didn't answer. "Yes," she said. "Yay, now we are a full-fledged team," said. "Not so fast," said Itachi. "We still have the last Mew Mew to get." So they decided to go to the zoo because that's where the Mew Mew was going to be, at the zoo. They got to Mew Mew Zoo, get it? And, "Oh, it's Pudding," said Ichigo. They went to Pudding. Said Pudding, "Hi, desu." "Pudding, be Mew Mew with Sakura," said. Kiki got on a ball and the others watched amused. She could jump and do flips and balance plates and breathe fire and do a lot of tricks. And she got out various musical instruments and played them all at once. When she was done, she held her hand out. "Now that'll be $50, Desu." "What, I don't have any money," said Mint. Mint was wearing her hair in one bun and had on a yellow dress, and she wore glasses even though she didn't need them. They were cosmetic and she had on diamond earrings. The boob part of her dress was white and she had white sandals and ribbon sleeves. Sakura frowned and said, "Neither do I." Her hair was in a ponytail and she wore a sleek black jacket and ripped jeans with holes in them and black pumps. Ichigo had on a strawberry dress with long sleeves and ruffles and boots. Her hair was. Lettuce was wearing jeans and a t-shirt. Her glasses were rectangle today and she had contacts. Kiki was wearing a Chinese suit. "Hey, give me my money, Desu," said Pudding. "I can't give you free show," she started to cry. Ichigo frowned and put her hands in her pants pocket. She was wearing a bunny hoodie and knickers. Suddenly people on the roller coaster screamed. There was a boa constrictor on the roller coaster. The animals had escaped. "Oh no," they all said. Itachi stepped forward. "It was the aliens!" They all transformed except Lettuce because she was scared of the roller coaster. "I'll stay here with Pudding," she said. "Right," said Itachi. He jumped on the roller coaster with Ichigo. "Look out," said Zakuro. Kish threw his bomb right at Itachi's chest, but 𝚤𝚘𝚒𝚒𝚕𝚒 dodged and pulled his wolfy sword out and attacked at. "What are you doing with my girlfriend here?" said Kish. "She's not your girlfriend," and slashed Kish's face. Kish grinned angry and bled from face. Kish punched Itachi, but Itachi blocked with his fist. Mint, and Ichigo were putting the animals back in the cages while Itachi fought. Itachi's eyes were red like blood when he got angry and he powered up. Kish laughed. "This is no 𝚤𝚘𝚒𝚒𝚕," he said, but got hit. Itachi threw Kish at the roller coaster, but the people were in the roller coaster cart. One of the people fell out and landed on the ground and died. Itachi went "No" and went over. It was Messiah. The end to be continued. The description says, "I'm sorry wrote this in the car, okay." Chapter 9. Chapter 9. Death. It was Messiah's funeral, and everyone was sad. Ichigo cried into 𝚤𝚑𝚒𝚒𝚒's arms about Hoiwa. She felt bad for Messiah's death. Ichigo was wearing an all-black one-piece dress and a veil, and Itachi was wearing a tuxedo. Ichigo held his hand. "Why did he have to die?" she asked Itachi. Yesterday they had been in the fight with Kish at the zoo. The animals were escaped, and while the Gitrals put him back, Itachi fought Kish. A horde of aliens infected the Aninks, and Pudding transformed finally while they fought them. Kish attacked at Itachi, but Itachi threw Kish. Unfortunately, Kish landed at the roller coaster and hit one of the passengers. That passenger was Aoyama. Messiah fell from the tall roller coaster straight to the pavement. The ground was once white, was now red with blood. Itachi's eyes grew red with blood when we became angry, and he slashed at Kish with his wolfy sword. Lettuce and Pudding tried to help Messiah, but it was already too late. "But the game's not over yet," Kish said. The animals attacked the muse, but Pudding blocked it. "Pudding Ring Inferno!" Pudding yelled. She blasted at the animals. The rest of the muse joined in the attacky. With Itachi and Kish, Itachi had beaten Kish, but Itachi couldn't win. It wasn't for him. Kish disappeared after saying, "I'll see you again, Muse," and teleported away. The girls and Itachi all stood over Messiah's cold, dead body. It was Twissy Ted, and Itachi put his jacket over Messiah, who the girls' cries. Meanwhile at the funeral, everyone was crying and sad. "I felt bad for what has happened," said Ichigo. "It's all my fault, Itachi." "No, don't blame yourself," said Mint. "It was an accident and you did not mean to cause." "Thanks, Mint," Itachi smiled sad. "I remember when he was close to me," Ichigo whispered. "Yes, this must be tough for her," let us whisper as to Mint. After the funeral, everyone parted ways. Ichigo and Itachi decided to walk back together. Itachi carried a cot he found passed out. "I will take it home to help it," he sassed. "Right," Ichigo said. "You seem down." Itachi held Terihi cat to her. "Do you want to pet it?" "Oh," Ichigo pet it. "It's soft. You both have the same chlored ribbon, too," he said as held the collar. The cat sudden, y, jumped away and the collar slipped off. "Oops! Oh, and it ran away!" Ichigo cried. Itachi tied it around Ichigo's neck. "You need to wear a bell too so you don't get lost." Ichigo blushed. Itachi said, "Promise? Because you're my all-time favorite cat." Ichigo smiled and teared up. "You too," she said and pulled out a dog collar. "I meant to give this to you." She put the dog collar on him. It was black and red stripes and had spikes on it. "Thanks, Ichigo," Itachi smiled. Ichigo began to cry. "Itachi, What is it?" Itachi asked. I because of Messiah, I feel so bad," Ichigo cried. Itachi hugged her. "Maybe are you asking to take a break?" he asked. "Yes, I think we should take a break. I was so close to him, this is too hard for me right now," she said. "Thank you for understanding." Itachi wiped her tears. "It's okay with me. I want you to be happy, Ichigo." "Thank you," Ichigo smiled. TBC. And the description is just an ellipses. Tokyo Woof Woof, Chapter 10. It was raining. Ichigo, having lost one of the men she might have loved, wanted to be alone to think about it all. She was outside in the raining and was thinking. Her heart was heavy in her chest and she had eyes wet from her crystalline tears. She stepped toward the door to her house and paused, thinking about Messiah. How could she face Itachi now that she was feeling this way, She shook her head and pulled her hand back. No, she couldn't speak to him now. They were on a break. Sadly, she went into the house and to her room. She sat on her bed and cried, but then heard a deep, mystical voice. "Don't you just wish you could bring him back?" the voice said. It belonged to Kish. He suddenly appeared behind her and hugged around her neck. "I'm here for you now, Kitty Kate." Ichigo stiffened, not knowing how to react. "No, Kish," she said sharply, but she was too sad to pull away. She wanted 𝚘𝚘𝚘𝚕 to listen to what it was Kish had to say. Yes, I do," she whispered, crying Gate more. "I want him to come back now so badly. I thought I loved Itachi, but now I just don't know what I think." Kish smiled across his devious face. "I don't think you need either of them, cute little Koneko-chan." He swung around to stand in front of her, yellow eyes eyeing her intently. "I think you should just come with me instead. I'm all you really need, and I can you forget both of them." She shook her head. "No, Kish," she said. "You don't know anything. I need to." She trailed off, not knowing what she wanted. Her eyes were cold and watery. Kish put his hand on Ichigo's arm gently and said, "I'm trying to help, pet." Ichigo looked up at him, not sure if she wanted to pull away or stay where she was. One thing was for sure, and that was that she didn't like him calling her pet. She slapped him across the face, letting him feel the hot sting of pain. "How dare you call me that, and how dare you come to me when I'm so vulnerably?" Kish grinned and licked his lip, which had split as Ichigo had hit him. "Oh, fine," he said cruelly, a devilish glint in his eyes. "You have a lot of anger, Ichigo. You want to make every suffer such as much as you." He laughed cruelly. Ichigo was silent. Then Ichigo glared at him through brown eyes and yelled, No, that's not true. am a Mew Mew because I don't want anyone to suffer at all. Don't you make up your mind for me." Leaning in, Kish pressed his warm lips on Ichigo's forehead and grabbed her forcefully by the arm. Ichigo Zero tenses and can't pull away. She screams, but Kish covered her mouth with his hand to silence. She struggled in a futile attempt to get away, and he pushed her against the wall. "Be quiet, don't want to wake your parents, sup." She slapped his hand away with wolf strength, then tried to run towards the door. He tackled her almost in a glomp, laughing and saying, "What's wrong, Koneko-chan? Aren't we gonna have fun?" Kish pushed his weight against her, pinning her to the floor. Moving his lips to her neck, he bared his fangs and sunk them into her neck. She tenses and opened her mouth to make a scream, but it was stuck in her throat. What was happening? Just as fast as it happened, it ended. Kish pulled away from her and licked the delicious-tasting red liquid off his lips. It was sweet, exactly how he imagined her to taste. Ichigo whimpered, feeling dizzy. "I don't feel good," she whispered, turning pale. Her eyes glowed in the dim light and she shut them. Kish, still on top of her, laughed lowly and whispered, "Soon." Why did this jerk bite my neck?" Ichigo thought silently to herself. Kish let out a soft chickle and got off of her. She passed out in a pool of her own blood, her eyes and chest burning. Meanwhile at the cafe, Mint was worried. Where was Ichigo? She didn't know, so she was worried. Coursing her arms, she shook her head and went back to cooking. Mint was learning to cook and wasn't so good. "I'll be a chef one day," said Minty sadly. "Hey, what are you cooking?" asked Lettuce. "I'm making a souffle," Mint smiled. Little Tux smiled. "I like souffle," she said. "Ichigo does too. Hey, has anyone seen her today? She disappeared after the fun roll." "She probably still sad about it," Otachi said, crossing his arms. Sakura sighed and said, "Me aunt make me a burrito." Mint frowned and put her hands on her hips. "I am a French chef, Sakura One-chan," she said indignantly. "I don't make burritos. If Ichigo were here, she'd make me a burrito, get it?" But no one felt like laughing at the joke. They were all secretly worried about Ichigo. Pudding suggested, don't we all go to Ichigo's house, Desu?" The rest agreed by nod, except for Otachi, who felt uneasy. "I don't know," he said, but the others left. Otachi decided to look around the park by himself. He was sad that he and Ichigo were broken up and didn't want to see her, but at the park a crash happening. "Oh no, it am," said Otachi. "Alien!" Zakutro wasn't listening and was listening to Vocaloid on her iPod. Otachi ran to the crash site. Otachi gasped when he saw the alien predecessor. He transformed into his Woof Woof outfit, which was black pants and black long sleeves. He had red fuzz trim and fangs like a wolf. He pulled out his sword and attacked the Predocite, jumped away and revealed behind it was behind Ichigo. Ichigo had her eyes closed, and when she opened them, the gay were red like blood and empty. Otachi looked again and she looked sharply. Something was wrong. One eye was blue. She smiles coldly at Otachi. "Ichigo?" he asked. Ichigo laughed quietly and waved her arm. A ray of ice slammed Otachi against the wall. Otachi was shocked and the ice was ice cold. He stared up at Ichigo and glared. "What have they done to you?" he asked calmly. She shook her head. "You wouldn't understand," she said. She shot fire out and hit Otachi hard. He screamed and got still. He was wonder. What happened? Ichigo was looked like herself. She had on a black dress, her hat went to her knees and was one piece. She had long sleeves and white lace and a black version of her chat belt choker, and her hair was down. She had on a mini black top har with a bow and black Lolita shoes, and her eyes were fire red and ice blue. Oh no, Otachi thought. Oh no indeed. Ichigo lifted the knife and pushed it to his chest. "It'll make you understand," she whispered. TBC. And the description is, "Hey guys, I wrote this chappie as a collab with my girlfriend Dante. I love you!" She wrote the first part. "She's such a better writer than me, sad face, but I liked it okay."